Grouped frequency distributions are similar to normal frequency distributions, except data is organized into classes first. For example, instead of having individual rows for each of the numbers 41, 43, 47, and 48, they are all grouped together into one row labeled 40 to 49, so the 40s. A grouped histogram is similar to a histogram, but it's used with a grouped frequency distribution instead of a normal frequency distribution. And then lastly, a stem and leaf plot is a way of displaying a grouped frequency distribution. And the stem is the first column and represents the tens digit. The leaf is the second column and represents the ones digit. A class of 40 students take an English exam. Their scores are as follows. So we are given this data, and they want us to construct a grouped frequency distribution, a grouped histogram, and a stem and leaf plot. So let's do the grouped frequency distribution first. So we have the score in the first column and the frequency in the second column. And they want us to group the data like this. So we have the 40s, 50s, and etc. So it looks like I have three values that are in the 40s. So this is going to be 3 here. And then for the 50s, it looks like I have 6 values. I have 6 values in the 60s. I have 11 values in the 70s. I have 9 values in the 80s. And lastly, I have 5 values in the 90s. So this is our grouped frequency distribution. Next we have to construct a grouped histogram. So each bar is corresponding to each of the classes. So these right here. And then the height of each bar is corresponding to that class's frequency. So this column right here. So if you want to pause the video right now so that you can copy the grouped histogram, you can do that right now, and then I'm going to go to the next slide. Finally, we need to construct the stem and leaf plot. So the first column in the stem and leaf plot is the stem column, and this represents the tens place. And the second column is the leaves column, which represents the ones place. So the 7 in the 4 row represents the number 47. The 5 with the 4 represents the number 45. And the 3 with the 4 represents the number 43. So these three numbers are corresponding to the three numbers that were in the 40s in our original data set. So we do the same thing with the 50s, 60s, and so on. And that is our stem and leaf plot. One more interesting thing about the stem and leaf plot is that if you were to draw bars in the leaves column and then rotate the graph 90 degrees, it would actually look exactly like our grouped histogram. So that's kind of interesting.